Hey guys, so first of all I wanted to say I'm sorry it has been so long since I made a video. First I went to Florida to go to Disney World, but while I was there I actually ended up getting sick. Like I felt sick the day I left, but I thought okay, maybe it's just a cold. Like I got there, I took some medicine. I went to the parks, I went to Magic Kingdom that Friday, and then I felt really, really sick by the end of the night. And Saturday, I tried to do Epcot, but I left early. And then the last 2 days of my trip, I spent in the resort, sick as a dog. I came home and found out I had an ear infection. So that sucked. I really am just really thankful that I'm doing better now. And then life got busy. I had to work and everything, so I haven't really had time to pin trade. I barely did any pin trading on my trip. So I'm just really glad to be home now, and I've been doing pin trading online, but I decided today to make a video because I know that there are a lot of people that there's like conflicting reports about whether or not you should use eBay, how you should use eBay. So I figured I would do a guide for pin trading on eBay. So I want to start off by saying that for the most part what people say is you shouldn't buy lots off eBay, and this is correct. If there's like a pin lot and it's like 20 pins for $10 or something, or something crazy like 100 pins for 40 bucks, and they even if they may say no scrappers, but I guarantee you every one of those pins is gonna be a scrapper. If you want to do like lot or grab bags, go onto the different Facebook pages because there are people that do scrapper free grab bags. And I can vouch for certain people. Like if you want to ask me, I've had people make me grab bags and all the pins were authentic. Now, that's not to say that you can't buy pins off eBay, because not every pin on eBay is fake. Now, the number one thing to do is check your pictures. There are Facebook groups for this. You can go on PinPix and check the pictures, because there really is no surefire way to tell whether or not a pin is real or fake. Like every single pin. Like there's not just like one way for every single pin, because the one pin might have something that the other pin doesn't. Some pins are really poor quality. Like Disney makes them poor quality for whatever reason. Maybe it's like a pin they were rushing on. Maybe it's a pin that they know they're not going to make a lot of money on. So for whatever reason, they just make it as cheaply as possible and it just doesn't look right. So just look at pictures. Like I said, there are Facebook groups that will help you to determine whether or not it's fake. You can always ask to see pictures. The number one thing I would do, and this is what you should do when buying on eBay anyway, is to look at the seller's like rating percentage. Like if you click on an item, I'll like do a screenshot, but like if you click on an item, it should have a picture of the item for sale, a price, or if it's an auction, and then it'll have the person's username and then their rating. So it'll say like they have 100%, which means every person that has rated them has had something good to say. And you can only rate somebody if you buy something from them. Now, I wouldn't say that like if somebody has a 99.9% good rating that you shouldn't go from them. I personally don't like to go lower than 97% for anything, not just pins. And check the ratings, check what they say, check what the bad ratings say, check what the good ratings say. So it also helps with sellers and just see like if they are getting fake pins out, even if they say that they're not. Now, most pin sellers that are real are going to post lots of pictures of the pins. They'll say message me if you want to see more pictures, but they'll post the front and they'll post the back. Some won't because they're amateur pin sellers. But don't be bought off if the price is low. I actually know some people that will start auctions off at really low prices. Like I know one person starts all his auctions off at like $1.15, and then they go up from there. So like it gives incentive, because I've actually been in some of these bids and they've gone up to like 20 or 30 bucks. So they know that they'll make their money because more people will want it. Like if you see an Ellie pin that's $2, you're gonna bid on that, right? But then eventually it's gonna get up to like 20 or 30 dollars. So they know what they're doing. And again, just check the rating, check the pictures, ask to see more pictures if you want, because not every pin will be fake. So if it's a standalone pin, or let's say it's like a booster pack or like a set of pins, I don't mean like a lot, but like let's say they're selling all the pins in a set, even those could be fake. Just double check that. If you notice that they're selling, like, let's say they have an Ellie pin and they're selling like 10 Ellie pins, and it's like an Ellie 100, those, they're probably selling fake. Next, when you're checking their ratings, make sure that you check how well they're doing, how well their shipping is. Don't just check to see for authentic pins, check to see how long it takes to get out. So I recently bought a pin from somebody and they had like a 98% rating. And so I said, okay, the pin looked authentic. They had plenty of pictures of it, so I bought it. And I bought it in like early June, and late May. And they said, I'll get to you between June 5th and June 26th. And it was it was an international pin. It was from Shanghai. So I figured like it's gonna take a while. But some time was passing, and I was like getting other pins that I had ordered after it from international countries, and they didn't have a tracking number, which I thought was really weird. And then like the date that it was, like the last date that it was supposed to come by passed. So I messaged the seller and I'm like, hey, it's been about a week since it was supposed to get here. I still haven't received it. And they were like, oh, well, I just shipped it. Here's a tracking number. I just shipped it out yesterday. And I'm like, I bought this from you in late May. Why did you just ship it out yesterday? They said, well, I just got the pin yesterday. Like, I guess they had bought it from somebody else and then they were reselling it. And I said, well, why were you selling a pin that you didn't even own? And they didn't respond to that. And I ended up getting the pin. But I was really annoyed because I'm like, why were you doing that? But then I checked their ratings, which I didn't read them thoroughly. Like, I just was looking for whether or not they sold fakes. And all the negative reviews was that they didn't ship it out for a really long time. And so I should have looked into that. So make sure you check that. But that's more of like an eBay thing for anything. And if you're going to sell something on eBay, make sure you actually have it in your possession. So if you're like going to sell a pin on eBay, just make sure you're like, hey, I actually have this pin. Don't sell it before you get it, because that was really annoying. I think I would have been less annoyed if I didn't have to pay shipping on it, but I did pay shipping. So it's like I paid shipping so it would get here, and it didn't get here for like I ordered it late May and I got it like a couple of days ago. So in July. So that wasn't fun, and I gave them a negative review. Now, moving on to how to review. You should always review a seller, just because I've sold on eBay and it really helps, because then more people like can see like, oh, this person's good, this person's not a fake. I haven't sold any pins on eBay, but like I've sold other stuff, and it's really important, just so that you can keep it up. And if you had a bad experience, I would say, unless the pin didn't like come on time, like mine didn't, or unless like, let's say some, check the descriptions too, because it'll say like some wear and tear on the pin. But if it didn't, if it said it was in perfect condition and it came to you with scratches, or it wasn't, then you can mention that. I wouldn't leave a negative review unless the pin A didn't come in time, like way after it was supposed to come, or you find out a situation like mine. Basically put what you would want another seller to see, or another buyer to see. If you could look back and want to see what you would want, what you wanted to read when you originally bought this item, then put that. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot more I can do. Like I said, stay away from lots, but not all pins on eBay are fakes, but also some standalone pins might be fake, so just double check. A lot of like the more popular pins, you can mostly, like if you Google, is my pin fake, they might have more pictures of it, like the hidden Mickey pins. I know a lot of people have pictures, so just check that out, because that'll be easier to find, but it might be harder when it comes to limited edition pins, because people might have them. People might, not a lot of people might have them, like especially if it's only 100 or something like that, because I've seen those, like, okay, you're gonna find one of the other 100 people that has it, so, or one of the other 99 people, so that can be hard. But for the most part, you know, just do what you can, do your due diligence, make sure that they're not selling like surplus amounts of LEs. And overall, I mean, just good luck. If you do get a fake, you can request a refund. Do it sooner rather than later. If this seller refuses to give you a refund, then eBay will help you. And so will PayPal. Like if you like, go through a Facebook group, and these rules apply to a Facebook group as well, because the Facebook groups, they don't really scan for fakes. I suppose like if you see somebody has a fake, you can say something. But the group, like the admins, I don't think they're like looking for fakes. But if it happens, then just say, hey, I got a fake, I want to return this. And if they refuse to give you your money back, then again, you can go through PayPal or wherever you paid through, which is why it's good to go through PayPal. If it's a trade, I'm not really sure what you can do from there because I've never had that happen to me before. But I think like if you message with a person, then go from there. But if they don't do anything, then I guess you are out of the pin. So again, also just try to make sure that your pins are legit before, you know, there are ways of doing that. You can ask questions, go to PinPix, look up pictures, just before you sell or trade, just because you know, I feel like sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes the people really don't know and they just have these pins and they just want to sell them, because I've actually run into somebody who just loves selling pins, but he doesn't realize like half the pins that he has are fake. So when he buys a lot of fake pins, so you gotta keep that in mind. Not everybody's doing it maliciously. Some people just are really uninformed, and even I don't know how to spot a lot of fake pins. Even like the little trading that I did, I noticed that two of the pins that I traded for off of cast lanyards were fake, and that was super disappointing. But again, you just kind of do your part, and it's kind of hard, I know, but just, you know, ask for lots of pictures, and if they're refusing to, then I wouldn't trade or buy from them. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great one.